All right, welcome to yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense. And of course, this week we are fishing with dynamite. We got Fishman Loves Linux. How you doing, Fishman?
Groovy.
So tell me, how much fish can you catch with depth charges?
More than I can count, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, well, a lot of them sink to the bottom, though, and it ruins all the coral reefs and everything. Not a very nice thing, so please, fish, don't get caught doing that. Toss, what you up to, buddy?
Well, it's been a very cold, bitter week, and that's our show tonight. Thanks for joining in. Spatch's not feeling good. Goodbye.
And while you're freezing your tail off, it was a hot day down here in Florida. Went to a nice picnic out in the sun, outdoor karaoke and everything. Oh, yes. Barbecue, all that stuff. Yep, it was hot. Wearing my shorts outside today, even sweating in the hot sun. Toss, I got to ask you a question. Remember when Linus Torvalds said, if Microsoft ever does applications for Linux, it means I've won?
Okay.
Well, guess what? Ubuntu, Hortonworks, and Microsoft equals big data hosted solution. And this is coming directly from the Canonical website. And I've actually found out about this on the Cup of Linux forum. Somebody posted about this. And let me tell you about it. The first Microsoft Azure hosted service to run Linux on Ubuntu announced at a Strata conference. And apparently it's called HD Insight on Ubuntu. And I guess this is like a cloud technology thing that they have going on. And the graphic shows Ubuntu, Hortonworks, which I have no clue, and Microsoft. So it looks like Microsoft is finally starting to play nicely with Linux. And we've discussed this before, though, that they've had, they've been doing things with the cloud solutions and that sort of thing. But now actually making something official like this, I guess this is Microsoft's way of saying, hey, Linux is now in the mainstream and they're ready, willing, and able to work with Linux. How cool is that?
I think it's great. Look, we all know that at certain points in history, they can make a terrific product. I thought Windows 7 was perfectly, acceptable. If for someone who was an exclusive Linux user and wanted to try Windows, it's perfectly fine. Windows Vista, of course, it wasn't. But there seems to be a fundamental change with Microsoft because if what I've been reading is correct, Spatry, Windows 10 I've been testing, it works great, and it's supposed to be free, a free upgrade for the first year for people who currently have Windows 8 or 8.1. So there are changes blowing in the wind. Imagine that Microsoft and Linux are dating and maybe getting married. Isn't that sweet?
I don't think they'd make very good bedfellows, and I'll just bet. Shut up, Fish. And I'll just bet Steve Ballmer, he's just chewing his hat because you remember, Linux is a cancer and all this and all that and all this.
Yeah.
And he's driving Microsoft into the ground. And then Bill Gates gets Nadella or whatever his name is. Whatever his name is.
At least they're being civil and talking it over dinner. How does that sound?
Yes, fresh minds bringing fresh ideas and maybe
it's great.
Maybe I think it's just getting more and more popular. Yeah. All right, who's next? You got something, Fish?
Yes, I do. Out of the world of Google boss warns of forgotten century with email and photos at risk. Piles of digitized material from blogs, tweets, pictures, and videos to official documents such as court rulings and emails may be lost forever because the programs needed to view them will become defunct. Google's vice president has warned humanity's first steps into the digital world could be lost to future historians. Vince Cerf told the American Association for the Advancement of Science annual meeting in San Jose, California, warning that we faced a forgotten generation or even a forgotten century through what he called bit rot, where old computer files become useless junk. Now, isn't that something, big flaw in the system already?
Yeah, now, you would think that they would come up with a way that they could, save, that old data set, because I mean, archive data is very useful, even for college students and stuff. You remember those old microfiche things, Toss?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, maybe they could. But the thing is, I mean, we don't even need microfiche now. I mean, because you can store zillions of
Well,
documents
duh.
on
Yeah.
on a microchip and that sort of things. But you'd think they'd come up with some kind of way to, save, especially if they're important, But then again, it's Google, so they're busy. They're too busy flying balloons in the air, giving everybody. What you got, Toss?
A little bit of for all the people who play Halo gamers. There's a new novel coming out. I believe it's only an ebook, somewhat unusual. It's called Halo: New Blood, an ebook. I believe this is the story is set to give you a hint of what's coming up in Halo 5. My son and I played Halo 5, the beta multiplayer. It's great. Look, I know the time, effort involved to make any game for any platform, whether it's Windows, Xbox, PlayStation, or Linux. And that being said, I would like to give a shout out to all the people out there working on the next Halo game. They all look good. I'm hoping one day we'll have somewhat of a Linux equivalent someday.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I think it'd be cool.
yeah, because I want a Linux port. Otherwise, let's move on to something else.
Well, hey, now that we're talking about it, Microsoft and Linux, we're talking over dinner. There might be a port for that Halo game. You never know.
Hey, Gabe Newell might push that down the line. You never know. Okay, well, let's see what else I got. Now, according to Sean M. Davis's blog, and this is good news for a lot of people if this is true. And this document just came out. I assume he's one of the developers for XFCE. XFCE 4.12 could very well possibly be 1 week away. After what seems like an eternity, a new release of XFCE is finally just around the corner. XFCE 4.10 was released in 2012, and since then, development has happened in small bursts for each project. Once a release date was set, interest spiked and development along with it. The continued development has been recorded by Taz on the XFCE forums and Scunny K in his blog. Both are worth a look at to see how far XFCE has come in recent months. As a Manjaro user, I can tell you it's come a long way. It's a lot of great innovations have come to the table and that sort of thing. And with just 1 week until the determined release date, February 28th, String Freeze is behind us, and all that remains is bug fixes. So good stuff indeed. Great news for people running XFCE. I hope they are able to make that. That would be some cool stuff. And of course, we'd be seeing that coming to the Manjaro desktop very soon. What you got, Fish?
Well, I got a little bit of an editorial here off of the LXer Linux news. And it says that Linux gaming will be fine even without Steam machines succeeding. I decided to write down some thoughts according to Liam Daw on Steam machines and Linux gaming in general, as I've seen quite a few articles on other publications about the imminent demise of Steam machines and Linux gaming that are rammed full of annoyances from writers who seem to want it to fail. Well, from what I've seen already, they don't have to worry about anything. I've seen tons of new games come out. So, without the Steam machines, okay, Linux gaming is still gaining much steam, as I've seen it roll off of the assembly lines here and there. Of course, look at Star Conflict and Zero AD. I mean, those are two really big games right now that people are really playing hard, as I've seen not in our community, but in other communities as well.
And it's interesting to see because I've been on Steam. I've been looking around some different games, and I'm still deciding on whether or not I want to get the latest Civilization 5. One of them had kind of mixed reviews and that sort of thing, but it's great to see AAA titles coming. And then, of course, there's GOG.com, and actually, I like a lot of the older games, and so it's interesting to see that they have Linux ports for some of the old favorites, and a lot of those were AAA games back in the day as well. So it's really good news. It's improving. So even if the SteamOS doesn't pick up, they've already made a market for it. People are buying games, so full steam ahead, I say. What do you think, Toss?
Yeah, one of my predictions this year, besides I believe Windows 10 will be a terrific seller, that I believe Linux gaming will take a major leap forward this year. I hope probably sometime towards the summer, maybe by this Christmas coming up. It really needs to, because I think part of the future in Linux lies in gaming, and I would love to see, as we just talked about briefly about Halo, I would love to see more choices for quality games on the Linux platform. So I am all for it. Have you heard about the upcoming Linux clock apocalypse?
Uh-oh, here it comes. Go ahead, tell us.
Well,
Dun, dun, dun.
this is, I guess, I just picked this up today. This is similar, I guess, to the Y2K bug. Back in 2000 with the clocks.
Oh, okay. Is Tux going to blow up on us or something?
Well, that may happen. You have time, although this will happen on January. This will happen exactly 3:14 GMT time on January 19, 2038. Yeah, 2038. But apparently there is a bug, a deficiency in the way computers record time, similar to the Y2K bug. The problem lies in, and I'm reading this off the web, that comes down to the time _T time codes used by Linux and other Unix compatible OSs. Isn't Mac like Unix? So this might affect too. Something because they were specified as 32-bit values back in the early days of Unix. Anyway, I know this is some time away, but this needs to be addressed, because if we let it go, like you said, at some point Tux may blow up, and that's the end of Linux.
Well, let me ask you. You said that's going to happen in 2038, right?
Yes.
By that time, I'll have one foot in the grave and another on the banana peel. If I'm
Okay,
lucky
well, never
to
mind.
if I'm even lucky enough to live that long.
Okay.
And speaking of time, it's time to cue Toss today's favorite song, NSA!
Oh,
NSA!
jeez.
Everybody loves the NSA. Come on! You knew I was going to have some. You knew I was going to have some more NSA news, and this was dated February 19th from The Verge. The NSA and its allies stole the keys to your smartphone security. That's right.
What?
If you have one of those SIM chips, yeah. A new report by The Intercept details a stunning heist made by US and UK spies that has given intelligence agencies the ability to break through the privacy of smartphone communications. The report claims that the NSA and GCHQ, who they are, I have no idea, successfully hacked the network of Gemalto, a major manufacturer of SIM cards, and obtained the secret keys that unlock phone data. In short, it's a massive security breach that means your phone could be vulnerable to the whims of the world's most powerful spy agencies. Da, 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 da.
Hang on, I just got a message on my phone from the NSA. The FBI is going to be knocking at your door. Goodbye.
There you go.
Fishman, your turn.
Okay, well, we got Elementary OS. Why we make you type $0 before you download. Open source software can always be acquired without charge. Hey, now spatula, straighten up there. but can still incur significant development costs. Elementary OS wants to make people aware of this and have changed their website to suggest donating when downloading and make users explicitly enter $0 if they want a free download. This is the same strategy Canonical has used when offering Ubuntu. The Elementary OS blog explains, developing software has a huge cost. Some companies offset that cost by charging hundreds of dollars for their software, making manufacturers pay them to license the software or selling expensive hardware with the OS included. Now, with that in mind, there was a backup because on their website before they changed it, they actually said that you would be cheating others if you didn't donate to download their ISO. So, with that in mind, think about it. They want you to pay. Of course, it costs money to make this stuff. But why make somebody type in $0? Is it to humiliate them or to goad somebody into offering a donation?
Okay. We actually had this discussion last week on the Cup of Linux forum, and it did bring up some controversy, and it did stir some people up as well. And I think the correct term that they used was if you were downloading elementary OS without paying for it and using it on multiple systems, you were cheating the system per se. Now, they did back up on that. They did remove that phrase because, yes, that could be taken as harmful. But here's my take on this. Elementary has been well known to bring a lot of neat features to the table. At least they did in Elementary OS Jupiter. They had some awesome features they brought to the table in GNOME Shell. Now they're working on Pantheon, and they're doing different things. I haven't looked at any of the things they've been doing as of late. But they have been bringing some interesting features, and a lot of these are made in-house. There is nothing wrong with asking for a donation. There's nothing wrong with having a paid support model, and if this is something that they really depend on support coming in for it, maybe they should make it a paid support model, and then request, because I know Zorin does it. They have a free edition, and then they have the ultimate edition that has all the really cool features, and you pay, I think, like 10 or 15 bucks for it, which is very reasonable. It pays the kids college tuition and that sort of thing, because it's some Artian Zorin is paying his way through college with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you want to, have a paid support model or asking for support. I can tell you cupoflinux.com wouldn't even be running if it wasn't for the support that we get through donations and that sort of thing. But we don't cram people's nose in it either. We don't force people. We don't have a pay gate that just pops up and, says something to the user, because, we feel that if people find it useful, they will contribute what they can towards it. And, so asking for a donation is not wrong, but there are ways that people, and this, of course, forcing people to type the $0 amount can be taken the wrong way by many people. It's not my position to say whether their approach is right or wrong. I know a lot of people dislike it, and I know people are going to complain about it. So, how do you see that, Toss?
I'll be quite honest. After what I saw, what I read and saw, I had no intention of commenting or commenting, expanding on my comments, or taking a look at EOS. However, I thought about it, and I thought to myself, Toss, that's not fair. So I downloaded the beta just to take a look at it. It seems okay for a beta. It's not for me, but that's beside the point. And I think I made a point of saying, I think I uploaded it as EOS personal thoughts or something like that. But I said, right, Spatchy, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Sometimes the problem lies in how you ask for help. Right. So I thought the issue here was not so much is them asking for help. Perhaps the issue here might have been an issue of, can you forgive them for that little misstep in words? And I did. Look, last year I asked for a little help, and the community came through with some donations here, and I was able to pick up a badly needed refurbished PC and a used laptop to do full install tests of Linux distros. Now, I didn't say, if you guys don't donate, they're all cheaters. I didn't say that, of course, but I just, look, if you guys can help, great. If not, I will continue. The community came through just like people come through for the cupoflinux.com. So the bottom line is, if you truly need help, we're human. Ask for it. The thing is, how do you ask for it? How the team at EOS asked for help was not the best way to ask, let's be honest. And it turned a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But I understand they need help. We all know the time and money involved into creating a quality product or a potential quality product, not just operating system, but our respective channels. It takes time and money. So them asking for help, I'm cool with that. Just be careful next time how you phrase the word. So in conclusion, it was, for me, it was more a matter of, can they be forgiven? Absolutely. We all suffer from foot and mouth disease sooner or later, and that's how I see it.
And just a piece of suggestion here. One great way they could have probably raised a lot of money for their project is probably just starting a crowdfunding campaign.
Absolutely.
I think that would have been a perfect way for them to handle that. What you got, Toss? I can feel some nonsense tingling in there.
Yes. Well, you may have heard. You may have heard about the brouhaha about something called superfish. Did you hear it?
I'm getting nervous.
Okay.
You should.
Well, I guess we call it super fishing with dynamite right now. But apparently, Lenovo computers, which I bought ThinkPads in the past, although officially in the past it was IBM. But anyway, I bought, in fact, my computer before this was a Lenovo, and it worked fine. A little slow, but it worked. I guess since 2014, apparently they had bundled software by default in their operating system. And if you didn't pay attention when you booted up the system and signed in, it installed this Superfish bundled software battery. And apparently there were some security issues with the bundled software with something called Superfish. It wasn't just adware. It went beyond that to the point where it could pose a security risk. Now, here's the thing. I was going to make fun of this and maybe pass this on to you. Well, of course, I did make fun of it. I said Lenovo stands for leave now or very often. But, no. But, Spatry, let's try.
Toss, that's evil.
Let's try. Wait. I'm going to redeem
Do I get
myself.
a cake?
What does this fish program do anyway?
It's a company, advertising company, I'm assuming, that this is bundled adware. I guess.
Okay, so it's malware that comes bundled with the machine so I can sell it cheaper.
Well, I would not have called it malware, except for the fact if there was a security flaw in it. Then it's flat out. Not all adware is necessarily
Come on,
malware.
anything that's going to give you unsoliciting advertising is malware. Get over it.
Fine, gee, look at this. But here's the thing. I was going to roast this company, but I thought let's try a quick experiment. Let's reverse this. I will try and defend Lenovo, and you tell me if this is source stable or stable. Here we go.
Or stable.
Okay, goodbye. Here we go. First of all,
right.
folks, we talked about hostile Linux last week. Okay, here
Shut
we
up,
go.
boss.
I am a rep for Lenovo. Here we go. Listen, you stupid buyers. First of all, you had the option, if you would care to read, if you know how to read, you would have the option to opt out of this. But no, you just go ahead and click yes, accept without even reading. Number two, you could uninstall this if you didn't like it, but no, you decided to, number one, not to read. Number two, you decided to be lazy and not even look for a solution. So it's all your fault. But wait, I'm not done. On our website, me pretending to be, for Lenovo, there is an easy fix to uninstall this, and you can even download a patch if you so choose to. So all of you guys who complained about this, nah. Okay, well, that's my shtick.
You know what? I am leaning on the border of stable or horse stable because you know what? Well, that sounds like something Microsoft would do, although they'd sugarcoat it a little bit. But you know what? That's probably true, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I try to look at it from both sides, but apparently, from what I saw, I don't have a newer machine from them. Like I said, I've loved their products in the past; they work. But I believe there is an option to not select to install this. But of course, most of us just read it and go. Well, here's a good lesson for all of us: read first, just to be. Even with Linux, read first, just to be sure, right?
Yep, you always want to read the dialogues and that sort of thing because it's funny, before I quit
Yeah.
using Windows, because I mean I downloaded stuff like C Cleaner and this cleaner
Yeah.
and that program, and the thing is they have that one little slide that wants to install this toolbar,
Yes.
and so by the time you install all this freeware, and somebody shared a screenshot of this. A few months ago, showing the Windows browser with so many
Yes.
toolbars that you couldn't even see the web page.
Well, that's true. So here, I rest my case, and yes, to all the
Absolutely.
people
So,
out there who have a machine, no, this is for real. I just picked this up today. There is, I believe, an update to all this. I think they even apologized for all this. There is a patch to have it uninstalled, and your machine should be fine. So, again, maybe this is another matter of we forgive you.
for $50, Fish, what you got?
I'm still
That'll be a
laughing.
$50
I'm sorry. I can't help it. It reminds me of those days, when people would go through it, they're installing a program, they don't untick these little things, about install this toolbar, that toolbar, this toolbar. And next thing you know, you got 5 or 6 toolbars. You're like, where'd it come from? Okay, I have a game segment here. Oddworld. I don't know if everybody remembers back in 97,
yes.
Abe's Odyssey. Okay. Well, there's a number 2, new and tasty, to be released February 25th on Steam and GOG.com. New and Tasty is a side-scrolling game based on the original game Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, of course, that was released back in 1997. The game has been rewritten from scratch and comes with new modern graphics, enhanced audio, and revamped gameplay. For all you gamers out there, February 25th is your target time for this game.
Cool. That was a fun little game. I might have to take a look at that. Toss, I got some nonsense news for you. And
Here
this
it
is
comes,
true.
folks. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And woman unknowingly drives pounds of pot around in van for several years.
What? What?
And this lady in New Mexico, she wasn't ruling doobies down by the river, but this lady and her family were using their gently used 1990 Chevy van to roll around town when they discovered a stowaway that had been bumping a ride with them for about the last 15 years. 13.5 pounds of marijuana packaged for transport. And it's not that anyone riding around noticed the smell of this or anything like that. But what had happened was they had a problem. The lady had a problem with her car door. She couldn't get the door to lock and unlock. So she had one friends come over to take apart the door and have a look at it. And they found all of this Maui Wowie wrapped up in foil and, cellophane wrapping and that sort of thing. And it had been in there for years. Now get this. Okay, this woman was driving her kids around town and everything, and even crossed the border, went through customs 10 times, and they never found it in there. And they were speculating that because it was packaged so well and the age of this chronic pot didn't have an odor and that sort of thing. So at any rate, the law enforcement officials claimed the stash was most likely placed there by the van's previous owner and forgotten about. 50 says the van's secret stash probably wasn't detectable by drug sniffing dogs and border agents due to the fact that it was aged. So if you are in the market for purchasing a used vehicle, you better make sure you give it a proper nasal appraisal before you drive it off the lot, because she did buy this at a used car lot of all places.
I'm sorry, there's so much smoke in here.
Hey, Toss, we got to give it a nasal appraisal, man. Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't bogart that thing, will ya?
Oh, no, man. This one smells like Michikwan, man. Michikwan.
Toss, what you got?
I have nothing else to say on that note.
Okay, all right. Well, I've got another one for you, and This is great for all of you texters out there. I was reading Slashdot this morning, and I couldn't believe it when I read this one. An anonymous reader writes, the phenomenon of distracted walking, pedestrians who walk while using smartphones, has raised civic attention in the last few years, with Utah issuing fines and cities in China creating dedicated smartphone lanes for walkers who need to keep up with the WhatsApp on the move. This article argues that smartphone users have become so accustomed to other people getting out of their way that they will no longer negotiate for sidewalk space, even when not using their phones. And I did see a little snippet, a picture from China, and they literally had two walking lanes, one showing a cell phone with a circle and line through it, and another one for walking while texting.
Download the walking app that says, hey, stupid, look where you're walking, put the phone down. Problem solved.
Well, the thing is, I see it all the time. Every time I'm driving, people are distracted with their cell phones and that sort of thing. And there are states that have laws, in the cars and that sort of thing. But yeah, distracted walking.
Yeah,
that people can get killed from that too. So yeah.
No, well, that's a seriously, folks, be careful with your phones. Obviously, sometimes I'll say, like, I'll end my talks, please don't text and drive, but that should be common sense. Same thing with walking in your phone. Look where you go, and especially crossing the street. Come on.
Yeah, well, don't eat and drive either. Distracted driving of any kind is not a good thing. So yeah.
On that note, I think we've said all we had to say.
And definitely don't be smoking.
All right, and that was Fishman Loves Linux, Total OS Today, and yours truly with another fabulous Sunday Night News and Nonsense report. We'll be back same time next week, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, UTC -5, right here at the cupoflinux.com Mumble server. We hope to see you all next week. Boy, I'm so glad we got these podcasts back again. Hey, Toss?
Yeah, it's been a while. They are a lot of fun. We need to get somebody missing. One of our friends from Australia, IG, needs to join in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to have him back again, and I hope he's doing well and that sort of thing. Thank you, everybody that's in the listening room. Got a nice crowd in here tonight listening in, so thank you all of you for joining us. And now we'll jump into the lounge for post-show discussion.
We're jumping.
Thank you all again. Goodbye.
Ciao.